Welcome to the deep dive. You sent us the complete photo guide to great sex, and, well, that's what we're doing. Diving in to pull out the most interesting bits for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, talking about sex, it can go a million ways, right?
Yeah.
So our goal here isn't just like reading off a list of positions.
No, definitely not.
We're looking at the practical stuff in this guide. Ideas to, enhance intimacy, maybe spark some aha moments.
Exactly. And hopefully for everyone listening, no matter what your experience level is currently.
Right.
And this book, it really covers a lot. I mean, from the basics, the familiar stuff, all the way to some pretty adventurous explorations.
So it shows the sheer range of possibilities.
It really does. So our mission today, basically, is to give you some actionable takeaways, things you can actually think about, maybe try.
Encourage a bit more experimentation, detail.
Right. Move beyond just the routine, maybe find some, well, greater pleasure.
Okay, let's get into it then. First up,
Yeah.
supine sex. So, lying on your back. And the book says right away, this isn't just missionary, not by a long shot.
Right. It really emphasizes how small changes can make a surprisingly big difference in this category.
What kind of small changes are we talking about?
Well, it gets quite specific. Things like just lifting one leg slightly differently.
Okay.
Or maybe a little twist in the torso. It changes the angle.
Ah, the angle of penetration.
Exactly. Or even just tilting your hips, that can potentially target the clitoris more directly, or, the G-spot.
That spot inside, front wall of the vagina, right?
Yeah.
Known for intense pleasure.
That's the one. And it's these little adjustments, these micro adjustments that the book focuses on.
And it's not just about the mechanics either, is it? The book points out it's a good time for, well, connection.
Oh, absolutely. While you're in that position, it's a great opportunity for touch. Caressing, stroking legs, maybe a deep kiss.
So remembering the intimacy beyond just the main event.
Totally. Being present, engaged,
Yeah.
exploring, responding, not just going through the motions.
That makes sense.
The book also brings up elevating the partner's hips, maybe using your thighs for support.
Oh, yeah, for deeper penetration.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And it even throws in foot massage as another layer of sensuality.
I like that touch. Okay, so specific variations. It mentions feet on shoulders.
For G-spot access?
Sounds intense.
It can be.
Mm-hmm.
The guide stresses going slow, steady thrusting, and adding manual stimulation is key too. Breasts, nipples.
Right, amplifying the pleasure, which brings up communication, I guess.
Oh, definitely. You need to be comfortable talking about what feels good, making adjustments. Very important for positions like that.
And there are variations on that, too.
Yeah, like both feet on just one shoulder, or
Mhm.
switching sides during creates different internal feelings.
Okay, and it even mentions if someone has a curved penis.
Yes, it suggests putting the feet to one side might change the angle of the hips, the vaginal canal, could lead to a better fit, more pleasure.
Huh. So it's about knowing your bodies, working together, like playful problem solving.
Exactly that. Then there's the half split. The book says it creates a feeling of openness, surrender.
And joining hands over the heart in that position.
Yeah, just a simple gesture to deepen that intimate connection.
Nice. And even though you're on your back, the book insists deep penetration is still very possible.
Definitely. It doesn't have to be shallow. Then it shifts to the fetal position with rear entry.
Okay.
And it highlights this delightful sensation from a gentle bicycling motion of the woman's knees.
A bicycling motion. That sounds interesting.
It's subtle, but apparently effective. Plus, it frees up the man's hands for exploring breasts, other areas, maybe even, orgasm just from that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing how small movements can shift things.
Totally. And there's a yoga-inspired one, too. Pillow under the lower back.
For comfort.
Comfort, yes, but also better alignment, which can apparently enhance clitoral stimulation. Being comfortable leads to more pleasure.
Makes sense. And the last one in this section. Reclined torso on pillows, partner kneeling.
Right. That slight arch in the back it creates, it can deepen penetration, sets things up for deep, long thrusts.
Like creating a little ramp for pleasure.
Exactly. Using simple props like pillows unlocks new possibilities. Or it just makes existing ones better.
Okay, moving on. Chapter 2. Standing positions. These sound exciting.
Yeah, the book frames them as adding variety, often coming from that spur-of-the-moment sexual urge.
The spontaneous quickie. I like that idea. Injecting spontaneity seems key here.
That's the vibe, that impulsivity, the thrill of unexpected places.
Even though the mechanics aren't always, like, perfect.
Right. It does acknowledge realistically that ease depends a lot on body types, heights.
So it might not always be graceful.
Probably not. But the book says the fun is partly in figuring it out together, that trial and error.
Okay, it describes a climb aboard position for a smaller partner.
Yeah, where one partner leans against something high, like a counter, and the smaller partner climbs on, wrapping legs and arms.
Using the height difference.
Cleverly, yeah. It needs good support for the leaning person, but it shows standing doesn't have to be, a massive balancing act.
You can lean on things.
Exactly. Lean against a sturdy surface, freeze up your hands for thrusting. Practical tip.
And I mentioned staying partially clothed could be more arousing.
Yeah, plays into that quick, passionate, maybe slightly risky feeling.
Okay, and another variation. Woman leans back, bends one leg around the partner's back.
Uh-huh. Changes the angle again. Might need a slight squat from the partner for entry.
And always, the hands are free for.
Caressing, breasts, other spots. Maximize the touch points.
Makes sense? It also talks about using a chair. A sturdy, straight-back chair.
Yeah, this one's quite inventive. Woman kneels facing the back for rear entry.
Okay, what's the advantage?
Well, it gives easy access for fondling breasts, clitoral stimulation, and she can use the chair for leverage, control the rhythm.
That does sound versatile.
Yeah.
And then freestanding love when there's no support.
Right. Rear entry is suggested as the most successful approach there.
And bending over at different angles.
Yeah, to change sensations. She might use a hand on the floor for support, and apparently that grip can feel different. Interesting for the partner, too.
So even small shifts matter? Dynamic.
Always.
Okay, chapter 3, Woman on Top. The book calls this empowering.
Definitely. It gives her control, great angles for G-spot orgasms, potentially. She sets the rhythm, the depth.
And the visual for the partner.
Big plus, according to the guide. But it's not passive for the person on the bottom.
No.
No, they can enhance things. Clitoral play, nipple sucking, kissing, eye contact. It's a partnership.
Right. Even with one person sort of leading, lying directly on top is mentioned too. Relaxing and arousing.
Yeah, and subtle differences matter. Like legs inside or outside the partner's legs creates different feelings. The limit is just imagination and, well, angles.
Examples of angle adjustments.
Leaning forward, maybe more clitoral focus. Leaning back, maybe better G-spot access.
Yeah.
Shifting hips varies the depth. She can really fine-tune it.
And the power dynamic is acknowledged. The enjoyment for the passive partner just watching.
Yeah, and she can use that control, too, raising her torso, measuring pelvic thrusts, maybe to delay his climax.
Oh, interesting.
Or using bent legs to push thighs together, heightened sensation. Again, it's those subtle moves making a big impact.
Altering angle, depth, for all sorts of sensations. G-spot, deep, teasing.
Exactly. Lots of variety there.
Okay, chapter 4, Kama Sutra pleasures. And it's more than just positions, right?
Oh, much more. The book stresses it's about mastering the details.
Details like?
Hips, pace, eye contact, even breathing. It's a holistic approach, not just the physical act, but the whole connection. Sensory, emotional.
Right, so the first one described is swiveling. Woman astride, raises feet, swivels.
Slow, easy movements are key for balance. It suggests clasping hands, arching the back for stability, and that also changes the angle.
Balance seems important here.
Very. Using hands on the partner's legs for support, taking some weight during the loving circle part, that's a practical tip.
Then there's facing away, leaning forward and back for new sensations.
Yeah, but with a big emphasis on communication, making sure it feels good for both. That's crucial when you're exploring.
A recurring theme, definitely. What about the swing?
Interesting one. The original Kama Sutra suggested an arched back, but the book warns that's risky for, well, modern backs.
Good call. So, modifications.
Propping on hands or elbows. Safer, still enjoyable.
Okay. And the one with feet flat, leaning back into upraised thighs, clasping hands.
Yeah, lots of connection there. Touch, shared movement.
Very intimate.
Many Kama Sutra positions are. The one with bent knees astride, partner lying down also with bent legs. It lets the woman use her vaginal muscles.
Clenching caresses and flutters, it says.
Exactly. Shows the active role she can play. Using a sash for leverage is mentioned too, adds a different element.
A sash. Interesting. And reciprocal control. Each partner controls something different.
Yeah, like maybe he controls depth, she controls the rhythm, enhances awareness, coordination, shared agency.
Cool idea. The erotic sculpture. Crossed legs, gentle rocking.
Sounds very intimate, like prolonged connection, almost stillness.
Then the monkey position.
Yeah.
Requires a strong man, lighter partner.
Yeah, legs lifted over elbows, side to side or forward back movement, meant for outer vulva stimulation. Sounds unique.
And maybe a bit challenging.
Definitely needs strength, coordination.
Yeah.
Rocking backward, using a pillow for lumbar support are suggested modifications. Makes it a bit more accessible.
Good. And the book keeps coming back to the Kama Sutra being about detail, experimentation.
Not just acrobatics, right? It revisits positions like legs open in the air, mentions forceful entry, hip support, tightening legs, reminding you to notice those subtle sensation shifts.
And it warns about the vaginal canal potentially being shorter in some bended legs up positions.
Yeah, important reminder for gentler, mindful thrusting, adjusting based on the position.
Makes sense. The yawning position transforming by just relaxing forward for deeper penetration and eye contact shows how simple changes work.
Exactly. Small adjustments, big rewards in intimacy and sensation.
The one with raised hips for deepest penetration plus maybe manual clitoral stimulation. Sounds
Yeah.
effective.
The popular combination, I'd imagine. And the lotus-wrapped legs, that description of vagina grasping the penis, very evocative. Intense connection.
Yeah, heightened sensation through maximum contact. And the clasping yoni. Bent knees pulled back, hips raised.
Emphasizes the natural constriction of vaginal muscles there. Potentially heightens things for both.
The balletic alternative sounds elegant. One leg extended, other foot on the chest. Slow movements, clitoral stim, foot massage.
Very holistic, full-body experience. Highlights how different positions enable different kinds of touch.
The press position. Both feet on the chest.
Yeah.
Focus on eye contact, gentle thrusting, foot massage, pelvic rolling. Sounds incredibly connected.
Really emphasizes that mutual gaze and touch. Then there's the improved yawning, more upright kneeling partner, that delicious contraction in the crab-like leg position.
So many subtle variations.
Showing the depth possible within this framework. The hammer position heel on the forehead. Access for manual play. That's pushing boundaries. Needs trust.
Definitely. Splitting the bamboo, one leg on the shoulder, then the other. Sounds like unique friction.
Yeah, the description really focuses on the sensation from that leg movement and altered angle.
Raising feet for easier entry, partner supporting buttocks, allowing thigh rubbing, adds another sensory layer.
More connection, more input. And finally, twining. One leg hooks behind the partner's hips, pulls them closer.
Leading naturally to the reclined pressing position. More body contact, maybe anal stim possibilities.
Yeah, it shows that fluid transition. Deepening connection, exploring more without stopping. Beautiful flow.
Okay, chapter 5, The Perfumed Garden, another classic text.
Right, described as exploring intimate arts with a focus here on maximum penetration.
So depth is key. Requires arousal, a considerate lover.
That focus on depth and the need for both partners to be engaged and responsive seems central. Similar to Kama Sutra in exploring intimacy, but maybe a sharper focus on penetration itself.
The first posture mentioned is specifically for well-endowed individuals. Partner on hands and knees, receiver lifts thighs.
Yeah, interesting how directly it addresses anatomy, highlights adapting positions for different bodies.
And the second is for the little guy. Upwardly angled anatomy, feet over the partner's head.
Shows thoughtful consideration for different builds, how to maximize penetration in those cases too.
And in that one, the woman can assist with manual clitoral stim, and the partner can grasp her feet for balance, maybe a foot massage.
Again, that mutual pleasure, active participation theme. Everyone involved in making it great.
The third posture, like Kama Sutra's yawning, one leg on shoulder, other under arm, deeper penetration, needs arousal first.
Ensuring comfort and enjoyment when going for depth. The fourth, both legs up past the shoulders, very deep penetration. Hands are free for extra stim, stabilization.
Sounds quite involved. Flexible, comfortable partners needed, probably.
Suggests a high degree of both, yeah. The fifth, facing each other, one leg raised over the partner. Emphasizes intimacy, using hands on the buttock or hip to increase the angle.
Okay. Rear entry postures in this section are called seductive. Good for G-spot, variable sensations by moving the torso.
Rear entry offers unique angles, direct access. And again, gentle entry is stressed, using hands for positioning, extra stimulation buttocks, breasts, clitoris.
And relaxing into prone during rear entry, pillow under hips.
Practical tip, improves the angle, potentially deepens penetration comfortably.
The seventh posture. Woman on back, one leg out, other on partner's opposite shoulder. Sounds like it creates new, maybe erotic sensations from the asymmetry.
That specific angle can definitely feel different. And the variation, woman on her side, legs wrapped around partner sideways. Very close, intimate.
Sideways often allows deeper, embracing, sustained contact. The eighth posture. Crossed ankles, spread thighs, partner lowers between. Sounds like it needs hip flexibility.
It might. And the variation with an upraised lotus position takes that openness even further.
Wow. The ninth is a series of 3 quickie positions. Shows swift pleasure isn't new.
Right. Kneeling over bed for rear entry, standing leaning forward, lying on back legs open. Practical for those intense, maybe time-limited moments.
Good reminder that not every time needs to be long. The 10th posture touches on dominant roles.
Yeah.
Mild bondage, role play, using a headboard, rocking motion controlled by the submissive partner.
Introduces a different power dynamic. Interesting twist where the seemingly submissive partner actually controls the rocking.
And the variation where she rocks forward into sitting astride adds more dynamic control.
Definitely. And finally, Nafsawi's last posture is missionary.
Yeah. But the book says its magic is clearer after exploring other stuff.
Yeah.
Allows varied thrusts, conscious muscle, control those Kegel muscles.
Right, the pubococcygeus muscles. Enhances sensation for both. Like coming full circle, appreciating a classic with new awareness.
Reframing the basic as potentially rich and nuanced. Okay, chapter 6, acrobatic positions. Here comes the tricky stuff.
Yeah, and the book starts with a reality check. Different bodies fit differently, photos can be misleading, and it cautions about the physical demands.
Good advice. Use support systems. Tables, chairs, pillows, even ladders or stairs.
Very practical tips for experimenting safely if you're curious. Balance, leverage, strength. Those are the keys here.
Okay, first one. Man lifts his whole body to meet the woman descending. She assists with arms, feet. Sounds like partner acrobatics.
Requires serious trust, coordination, fitness level probably.
They're one starting with the catbird seat. Woman astride, facing rear, leans back, head to mattress, grasps partner's feet. Allows foot massage, rocking.
Sounds more grounded, but still adventurous. I like the foot massage element again.
Me too. The standing split. Best for similar heights, maybe use stairs. Emphasizes stretching, kinky thrill, handrail bonus.
Definitely sounds like one where you need to know your limits. Stretching beforehand is probably wise.
Yeah. The one starting at the edge of the bed. One partner steps in, wraps other's leg around hip, they arch to meet. Hands are crucial.
Hands for support, alignment, always key, especially in trickier positions.
What about the one where the reclined partner thrusts hips high, other steps through legs, grasps a foot, creates an upside-down angle?
Offers a very unique perspective, plays with gravity, body orientation, could lead to new sensations.
The one needing a specific bed height. Foot on bed, foot on floor, pull leg around waist for rear entry. Shows how setups enable angles.
Specific environments unlocking unique possibilities.
The wheelbarrow. One partner clasps ankles, lifts hips, other counterbalances. Emphasis on controlled depth, speed.
Sound like a core workout, too. Needs strength and very clear communication for safety and enjoyment.
Absolutely. Pumping the well, reclining partner must arch hips significantly, split legs for the right angle from above.
Highlights the active role of the passive partner in making it work. They have to create the opening.
And finally, the variation on a rising slope, and the advanced one where standing partner fully supports the other on thighs arms.
Definitely for the fit and experienced. Shows the spectrum moderately challenging to needing serious strength and trust.
Wow. Okay, chapter 7, a different vibe. The 360-degree turn. Invoking celestial movements. Goal is a full orbit without withdrawing.
Yeah, this one's less about extreme poses, more about fluid, continuous, sensual movement. The book, quotes Vatsayana, says it needs time, patience.
Sets expectations, not for the impatient. Key technique is supporting weight with arms, not hips torso.
Crucial for stability, connection through the whole turn. Proper weight distribution is key.
And the receiving partner isn't passive either. Can use hands for pleasure. Stabilization.
Right, highlights the active role of both people in making it happen smoothly.
The halfway point allows exploring the partner's backside, a little sensual bonus.
A nice touch mid-maneuver.
The 90-degree return is noted as the trickiest part for staying connected.
Makes sense. That pivot point needs real coordination, communication.
The final hill and the welcoming embrace sound satisfying, like achieving something together.
A sense of accomplishment, renewed connection. The book encourages kissing, stroking before trying again, frames it as a journey, a shared goal.
Not just a position to tick off.
Exactly. About the process, the shared experience.
Okay, chapter 8 shifts to oral sex. Fellatio and cunnilingus calls them acquired skills.
Yeah, skills and tastes that develop over time for both partners. It advises against strict rules, encourages comfortable, exciting development through talking and exploring.
And emphasizes pleasure is mutual. Giving and receiving are both important.
Absolutely. For cunnilingus, it stresses tenderness, slow approach, avoiding sudden moves, sets a gentle, considerate tone.
It mentions the traditional position and also a take charge move, intertwining arms around legs. Sounds intimate, maybe a bit dominant.
Could be, depending on the dynamic. For fellatio, it highlights anticipation, slow unzipping, teasing smile builds arousal, and controlling thrusting by gently pushing on hips.
Anticipation is huge, and control helps maximize sensation, prolong things. Basic techniques suggested?
For cunnilingus, alternating things like long, gliding licks with the flat tongue, gentle flicks with the tip around folds and clitoris, slow circles around the clitoris. Variety.
And making sure she's wet, aroused first is important.
Very important for comfort and pleasure. For fellatio, taking the penis in stages, varying depth, suction, and the surprising effect of taking it all the way in slowly sometimes.
Don't forget the testicles.
Right. Licking, cupping, ball play adds another dimension.
For cunnilingus, make the journey to the clitoris long, delicious, using hands, fingers, but not lingering too long in one spot initially.
Build anticipation, explore the whole landscape first, and combining oral with manual stimulation is often considered amazing.
Like using free hands on the vulva or simultaneous finger penetration. Multiply sensations.
Definitely. And an interesting point about environment or risk-enhancing things, even basic fellatio done partially dressed somewhere secluded adds spice.
For sure. Mechanics, soft O with mouth, lips over teeth, tongue keeps things wet during fellatio. Plus, hand-stroking shaft rhythmically.
Fundamental techniques for cunnilingus. Take time reaching the clitoris, then use a repertoire slow languorous movements, light dancing tongue, lips for gentle suction.
Sitting on his face, mentioned as thrilling. Using hands for nipple clitoral stem at the same time.
Often highly appreciated, yes, for fellatio. Stroking scrotum shaft with hand, maybe gentle twisting motion while nibbling the head, multiply sensations again.
Combining different stimulations. Sideways position for oral is mentioned as comfortable, easy access for hands, fingers.
Very convenient, allows lots of simultaneous exploration.
And positioning affects the dynamic. Him on top allows surrender. Her on top, good for size differences, offers view access for anal play.
And there's even a more acrobatic one described. Head near floor, legs kick over shoulders for the adventurous, shows the huge range of possibilities, encourages finding what works best.
Okay, last big topic, Chapter 9. Anal sex. Starts by saying the anus is highly erogenous, potential for unique orgasms. Plus, it's the entry to the male G-spot, the prostate.
Right. And the absolute #1 advice up front. Go slow, very slow, and use plenty of lube, always.
No matter what's used for penetration, finger, toy, penis, strap-on.
Doesn't matter. Safety and comfort first. Lube and slow pace are non-negotiable. Starting with gentle finger play, caressing small circles is recommended.
Then gentle pulsing only when ready, relaxed.
Exactly. That slow, easy beginning, even with just one well-lubed finger. Soft massage around the rim encourages relaxation. Patient, gentle approach avoids discomfort.
Respecting the area's sensitivity, letting muscles relax naturally, suggests starting with toys first. Butt plugs.
Yeah, lubricated ones as a way to acclimate to the sensation before trying intercourse. Combining oral with anal play, finger or plug, can be stimulating too.
And the safety tip? Always use anal toys with a flared base.
Crucial. Prevents them getting lost. Very important.
Kneeling positions often offer shallower penetration, good for beginners.
Can be. And the penetrating partner should always be guided by cues. Let the receiver control depth. Communication is vital here.
Absolutely. Position described. Receiver on back, hips elevated, pillow maybe, legs back towards face for easier access.
That hip elevation helps again. Penetrating partner uses hands for leverage, pressure control.
Side lying also mentioned. Receiver nestles buttocks into partner's groin, knees spread legs for deeper penetration.
Can be very comfortable, intimate. Receiver can assist by spreading buttocks. Partner might have a free hand for clitoral stim.
Okay. Kneeling over pillows, posterior raised, allows slow, deep thrusting from behind. Partner uses hands, maybe more pillows for support, control.
Pillows are key again. Comfort, angle adjustment.
Then the one where penetrator is propped at 45 degrees, other kneels astride facing away. Allows rocking, bucking, partner on top controls depth.
Different dynamics, shared control. Partner on top dictates pace.
Then the very acrobatic one. Upside down rear entry needing significant support, maybe special gear like a harness or inversion table.
Definitely expert level. Explicitly stated as needing support. Not for beginners.
Good to know. A less acrobatic rear entry. Receiver reclines against pillows, uses arms for leverage, partner backs onto them, more manageable.
More supported, less strenuous, allows comfortable connection.
Another reliable rear entry, pillow under midsection raises buttocks. Penetrator lies along body, uses knee to separate legs, suggests bringing faces together for communication.
That pillow placement seems key for the angle, and communication about depth, speed is always important.
Sideline, where top leg bends to breast. Opens hips, partner kneels behind. Notes a twisting sensation.
That twist can create different, potentially pleasurable internal sensations.
And a reversed roll. Receiver kneels beside bed bending over. Other uses knee on bed, foot on floor for prostate stimulation angle.
Great example of targeting specific pleasure points with position. Shows the versatility, potential for discovery with anal play, always remembering. Slow, lube, communication. Couldn't agree more.
Finally, Chapter 10, Toys and Kink. Framed as ways to experiment, reverse rolls, add playfulness.
Exactly. Toys bring unique things, vibration, angles, pressure. Kink can revitalize patterns, add new dimensions.
Starting with vibrators. Gentle use over panties first for clitoral stim. Hands-free with pillows. Good entry point.
Eases people in comfortably. Shared toy play, teasing, exploration, fun way to build intimacy, find shared pleasures.
And the P-spot for men. Perineum. Stimulated indirectly with a vibrator. Another often overlooked zone.
Tapping into those can open new avenues for pleasure. Sex swings mentioned. Save joints, explore positions without supporting weight, offers freedom, allows deeper or more sustained positions potentially, reduces physical limits.
Dildos designed for G-spot. Curved shape. Advice is relaxation, smooth rocking motion, firm but gentle pressure.
Specific shapes target internal points effectively. Penis sleeves, approximate intercourse sensation, offer varied textures with lube, adds variety for both. Strap-ons, often for anal play. Unique sensations, visual turn-on. Emphasizes well-fitting harness, potential clitoral rubbing for wearer. Fit is T for comfort, stability. And always start slow, gentle with strap-ons, gradually deepen penetration, safety, comfort first, absolutely. Lingerie, striptease is mentioned, classic teasing, arousal building, edible stuff on the body, sensual, tasty, playful, unexpected sensual touches heighten things. For kink, crucial advice is start slow, explore boundaries carefully, communicate openly, establish clear, safe words. Consent, ongoing communication are paramount. Cannot stress that enough.
Absolutely. Gentle sensation play introduced. Feathers, silk, fur teasing.
Exploring different textures, light touch.
And bondage. Appeal explained as surrendering control within a safe, trusting dynamic. Suggests starting comfortable, maybe line handcuffs.
Exploring power dynamics, sensations within that framework of safety, consent, clear communication.
Well, that was a lot. You've definitely given us a huge amount to think about from this deep dive into the complete photo guide to great sex.
It really does offer a vast range of ideas for exploration, experimentation, and yeah, ultimately enhancing intimacy and pleasure.
And the main takeaway for you listening seems to be
Communication.
Yeah.
Talk with your partner. Be willing to experiment together. Find what brings both of you pleasure. And remember, even small tweaks to familiar positions can unlock new, exciting feelings.
So we really hope you'll revisit some of these ideas we've talked about. Think about how they might fit into your own experiences, your connections.
Absolutely. And, with such a wonderfully vast landscape of sensual possibilities now laid out before you, the question really is, what new and exciting territory will you choose to explore tonight?